quick disclaimer, I am not a professional gardener, but this is just something that I'm passionate about in terms of eating organically. I just wanted to show you guys how I garden every spring before the weather breaks. So in this one, I'm going to plant cucumbers. In this one, I'm going to plant zucchini in this one. And then in this one, in this bin, I'm going to plant the golden zucchini. For this one, I'm going to do the zucchini squash. So I've been growing my own food for a couple of years, and it really came to light. My youngest son told me that he thought I was just doing it for fun. But when this whole COVID-19 situation happened, I was able to, because I freeze a lot of our food, and I was able to, you know, my family was able to eat on this food all winter long. And during the situation where we couldn't go to the grocery stores. So what I really want to show you is kind of like how I put it inside the dirt. And then it's pretty easy, honestly. I kind of start from seeds with these types of plants. Like a lot of my peppers, sometimes I start from seeds, or I just go to like a nursery and I pick up some little plants that are already made or grown at a local nursery. But today I'm going to show you how to do it from seed. And then also I want to show you kind of like my bee box. It's actually a bee and a butterfly box. So what I try to do is encourage bees and butterflies to come into my garden, because I do need them to help pollinate my plants to get big fruit. So that's what the vegetables are called when they're coming up on the vine, is fruit. Last year I noticed that I wasn't seeing a lot of bees and butterflies. So I tried to plant marigolds. Marigolds attract bees and butterflies, but they also deter raccoons, skunks, deer, and those kind of rodents. And if you look here, I do live on a golf course, so I do have all of those animals that come and visit. But when I planted marigolds all around my my poplar farms, this is what I call it, I didn't have any of those vermin coming to visit. So first and foremost, let's start with the cucumbers. So I start from seeds. And so normally what I do, I know some people may not plant their farm with, you know, without gloves, but I prefer to do it without gloves because I like to feel like where I'm putting my seeds. So normally what I do is I use my finger and I try to put like make a little hole per area, and then I put a couple of seeds in there. I try to put about 3 seeds in there, and then I just cover it back up. With cucumbers and squash and zucchini, you don't have to plant a lot because they get pretty big. So I just plant just maybe 2 seeds in each area. And if you follow me on my Instagram, or if you're my Facebook friend, I typically show, once I harvest, what my when I harvest, what it looks like. So here, I can't remember if I said yellow squash. So yellow squash over here. So again, I just make a little hole like the same size as my finger. And some of these seeds I've used last year. You can use seeds for a couple of years. So what you do is once you use them, you put them in the refrigerator, like in a seal, like a Ziploc, or not a Ziploc, one of those Tupperware. And you make sure you put it in the back of the refrigerator, and they can last for a couple of years. They just need to stay in a dark place. So I do use my seeds for a couple of years. So I plant a couple. This is zucchini squash. Put 3 seeds in that. Is that one already fell? So once I plant them in here, and I'm just using like 4 different holes, because I'll make another video once they start growing, because it's gonna be outrageous of how big they get. Once I plant those all, plant them all in these holes, I just water it, and I just wait a couple of days for them to start growing. For me, I know some people say don't water your plants every day, but I do, especially when they're starting off from seeds. Okay. And before that, I'll show you what I did to get my bed ready. So I used this dirt from last year and just pretty much you know, kind of like if you were out in the yard, you would till your land. So I kind of like till my dirt. And I do believe that some of the nutrients from last year are probably still in here. I don't know, that's just my theory. So, okay. And then my squash, like this was, I wanted to put squash back in here because this is my squash. I had squash that was like this long. So I wanted to put that back in here. As you can see, I've used these from last year. So just use a couple of seeds and they're pretty big seeds. Okay. Cover that up. I usually just plant 4 different areas. I can't wait to show you my video once everything starts to grow. Right now everything is so barren because we're just starting off. Normally I wait until Memorial Day weekend, which is next week, but it was so pretty today. I said, well, I'm going to make sure I plant a couple of things today. Just give it a week head start. But next week for sure, I will plant everything. I plant sweet potatoes, I plant regular potatoes, green beans, as you can see, cucumber, squash, zucchini, all kinds of peppers, jalapenos, ghost peppers, which are extremely hot, especially when you make your own. When you grow your own, they're even hotter. So what else? Oh, buncheon onions, super easy. I do buncheon onions, I do lettuce, I do a lot of tomatoes, and bell peppers, all different colors, the yellow, the red, the orange, the green. I already said the jalapenos and the ghost peppers and the banana peppers. All right, see you later.